Hello, and welcome to episode 49 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
And I hope everybody had a great weekend. We have a lot to talk about today. So
yeah, we do.
We should probably not hem and haw or whatever and jump right into it.
Do we usually hem and haw?
I think it's me usually that hems and haws a little bit at the beginning of every episode. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I did want to mention the wonderful cookie cake.
Right, the chocolate chip cookie cake.
Yeah, that we got from the girls at Radical Food last weekend.
Yes.
At the pop-up market at the Vegan Center in Tonawanda. And I hadn't had an opportunity to try mine in last week's episode. Well, let me tell you, I did. I got up in the middle of the night and for some reason it just popped into my brain. I'm like, I have that cookie cake out in the kitchen, and I ate it, and it was fantastic. It was like this thick, it was like a super thick chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
But the cookie wasn't really super sweet. So the fact that it had that little bit of frosting on it totally worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
It worked for me as a 2 a.m. snack.
Yeah.
Which I probably shouldn't be getting up in the middle of the night and eating cookie cakes. But I just wanted to let those guys know that it was really delicious.
It really was.
I enjoyed it. What else did I want to talk about before we really jump into? Sam kind of brought to my attention on last week's episode when I was talking about the Agriculture Fairness Alliance. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of telling people to support what they do, that I may have come across as somebody that was telling you that if you did not give money to these organizations, in particular the Agriculture Fairness Alliance, that you weren't a good vegan. And that was not my intention at all. I just want to tell everybody that totally was not my intention. I just want everybody to be aware of the work that they're doing and support them in any way that you can. And if that's monetarily, that's great. If you can't support them monetarily, that's great too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you intended that sentiment at all.
I didn't.
It's just the kind of the pattern of the language at that point. And it was when you were saying, we can talk the talk, but we have to walk the walk. And it sounded like you meant that walking the walk was equivalent to giving money.
Right.
And not everyone can walk the walk in that way.
Yeah, and I agreed after listening back to the episode through editing and stuff that it could have been perceived that way. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that's not my intention. That was not my intention. And bear in mind that is also the episode where my brain didn't work. One of various episodes where my brain wasn't functioning properly and not, sending the information to my mouth in the way that it should.
Yeah.
So
and that's totally fine. It was just one of those things, like when I heard it after editing, it
got your cockles up.
It did.
As they say.
It did. Raised my hackles.
Hackles.
Hackles, not cockles. Cockles are shellfish.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Cockles are shellfish.
Cockles of my heart.
Well, yes, you can do that.
Or raising your hackles.
You raise your hackles.
Like a horse? Does that happen with horses?
I think so, yes.
Okay. I don't know if any of those things are really vegan. So,
no, not at all.
We'll probably take those out of our nomenclature.
Yep.
What else did I want to talk about? Oh, so we got our very own restaurant cards.
Right. So if you remember last week, we mentioned that I had picked up some restaurant cards from Vegan Outreach, and I thought they were just a fabulous idea. And Christine went ahead and got some of our very own Compassion and Cucumbers restaurant cards. And so we had a chance to use one on Sunday morning. After we did our shift at the animal shelter, we went to Domus Fair once again.
We went back to Domus Fair
for their brekkie burrito, their vegan brekkie burrito. And
I once again had them put falafel in mine because I was hungry.
And I once again did not. And it was just as fabulous as it was the week before.
Yeah.
And we got to leave that card, and that was very exciting.
Yeah, so the card is basically just on the front. It says who we are, and then on the back it says that, we ate here because of your vegan options, and we wanted to thank you for having them. And
check out the podcast because we'll be talking about
Check out the episode if you want to hear our thoughts on what we ate.
Yeah.
That kind of situation.
Yeah, so
maybe paraphrasing. I don't think you could fit all that on the back of a card.
No, I don't think so. You're definitely paraphrasing and expanding.
Yes, I have expanded and expounded.
Per usual.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think that's all we need to get out of the way before we actually jump into the meat of this episode, so to speak. The vegan meat of the episode. We have a recipe this week.
Yes, we do. We're finally back to our recipe, our cookbook challenge.
In spite of our busyness and everything, I did manage to make a recipe today. Let's just talk about that. Here is this week's recipe from our Vegan Cookbook challenge. So this week, I made a recipe out of the Big Book of Vegan Cooking by Dianne Wenz. It is a big book.
It is.
And it is nothing but recipes. There's no fancy photographs. There's no glitz or glamour in this book. What there is over 175 fantastic vegan recipes.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So it's going to be a big book, right?
Yeah.
175 recipes.
It would have to be.
So today, I was wondering what recipe to cook, and I not usually, but sometimes choose the recipe based on what I have in the refrigerator that needs to go.
Yeah.
Or based on just what ingredients I know I have. Mm-hmm. So this week's recipe was red pepper and spinach mini frittatas.
Yes.
But I didn't want to make mini frittatas. I wanted to make one big frittata. So I used this recipe, but just made one big frittata. And it turned out really well.
Oh, it was fantastic.
And I also did not have spinach, but I did have this beautiful rainbow chard that we got from our farm share. And I wanted to use it so it wouldn't go to waste. And it worked perfectly in this recipe.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was so tasty.
I love a frittata.
I know you do.
Frittata, quiche, anything. I was before I was vegan, huge fan of anything egg-based.
Yeah.
So, frittatas are right up my alley. And then I paired it with some roasted baby red potatoes that we also got from our farm share, which were fabulous.
Fabulous. The roasting was perfect.
Oh,
so good on you. Yeah.
Well, what I did was I parboiled them not too long, really just like for 10 minutes. And then I put them in the refrigerator because I read or saw Dr. Greger was talking about a study that they did about potatoes, and that if you cook them, cool them, and then cook them again, or even cook them, cool them, and eat them cold, they don't have any effect on your blood sugar. It completely erases the whole glycemic index thing that potatoes have.
Right, because potatoes are a very high glycemic index food.
But the molecular structure changes when they're cooked and then cooled. They actually become a more healthy alternative.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. If you have anybody in your family that's diabetic and they steer clear of potatoes, if you make like a potato salad is a perfect example.
It is a perfect example.
A potato salad is not going to affect somebody's glycemic index in the way that like a baked potato would.
Right.
So way cool. And they turned out really nicely.
Oh, they were just perfect.
Yeah.
They really were. So go Dr. Greger for giving us that secret.
Yeah, if you're
informing us of that.
If you're not familiar with Dr. Greger, he has a YouTube channel. What is it? Nutrition
and a website, nutritionfacts.org.
Nutritionfacts.org. And yeah, I mean, it's just a veritable plethora of fantastic information.
Oh, on just about any topic you could possibly be interested in.
Yeah, and what's cool about it is he cites all the studies that this information is coming from, and he has a really cool speaking pattern.
Yeah, you gotta love Dr. Greger. Yeah. He's so much fun to listen to.
He's so entertaining.
Yeah.
And he does these live videos from his treadmill, which is
which I love.
Really funny. Where he does
watch those regularly.
Yeah, he does these like question and answers, and people send him questions, and he'll be on. He has like one of those stand up, like some people have stand up desks. Well, his is a treadmill. So funny.
It's great.
It's so entertaining.
It's awesome. Yes. All hail Dr. Greger.
Yeah. So cool. Check him out if you haven't checked out his YouTube or any of his books. Okay, we need to move past the recipe. It was delicious. Let's move on.
Okay.
I've said delicious, if our niece Lucy is counting, probably 3 or 4 times already, and she's probably rolling her eyes. We have to talk about where we were this past weekend. Where were we?
Ooh, we were at the first annual Burlington Veg Fest in Burlington, Ontario.
And we were so excited to be north of the border.
Oh, we were.
Once again.
And for the first time in a long time without a COVID test.
Yeah, you don't need to be tested anymore. You do need your vaccination card.
Yes.
Still. But it was much quicker. You have to log on to an app. ArriveCan is the app. And they ask for like information. It's like a pre-registration kind of thing that just keeps the lines moving. And we were in and out across the border in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was really fast.
So yeah, super excited to go to the Burlington Ontario Veg Fest, the very first. It was held at this really beautiful park on Lake, I believe it was Lake Ontario that we were looking at.
Yep.
It's called Burloak Waterfront Park.
And it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous view of the lake. Lots of really big, shady trees, which came in very handy later in the day because it was very hot. And so we were greatly appreciative of the shade. But it was just a lovely, lovely park.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We got there a little early. And we wanted to get there early because there was apparently swag bags or something handed out to, I think, the first 200. But we were there. We ended up there earlier than we even expected. I don't know if it was lack of traffic or what.
I don't know, but we did get there quite early.
Yeah.
We were there at like 10 of 11.
Yeah, but they didn't prevent you from walking around the park or anything. So we did have some time to just kind of walk around the park and see what vendors were setting up and just kind of get a feel for what the festival was going to be like, which was nice. It was kind of cash. We could scope out where are we going to get, which food are we going to get first and all that jazz. So that was cool. And then so people started getting in line. So we got in line. We were, I think, 3rd and 4th in line.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
3rd and 4th in line. You are correct.
Yeah. And then once they actually were letting people into the festival, they kind of ushered us towards a podium. And that's where the mayor of Burlington was going to kind of dedicate and open the festival. Mayor Marianne Mead Ward is her name.
Yes.
She gave a really fantastic speech.
She did.
I mean, we're in Canada, so yeah, they're a little more forward thinking than a lot of our politicians are.
That would be a very fair statement to make. Yes.
She was very excited about it being the very first vegan festival. I think one of the first things she said was "vegan food is great" or something like that. She was not only informing us, but she was really entertaining also. Mm-hmm. And she talked about like she has a plan for climate action and just some very liberal, forward-thinking person, it seems like to me. Politician, it seems like to me. And I know that Canada is not without the struggles that we in the States are struggling with as far as politics goes. But it was really refreshing to have a politician standing up there agreeing with what we were standing for. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And being so positive about it. Like I think the thing that I get the most sick of with politics of any variety is the constant negativity and the constant kind of adversarial relationships that, each side takes towards the other. I just think it's ridiculous and completely unnecessary. So to be listening to someone who had such a positive and inclusive message was, as you said, really refreshing.
It was super refreshing. And she started her speech with what they start every event or meeting with, which is the Land Act.
The Land Acknowledgement.
Yes, a land acknowledgement where they talk about how the land we are standing on belonged and should still belong to the native people of those lands. And I thought that was really cool. What else did she say that really kind of... I love that she happened to mention that there was a food drive involved with the festival and that she acknowledged the fact that Burlington is kind of a wealthy area.
Yes, it's quite an affluent area.
Yes, but that they are still not without people that have food insecurity. And I loved that she not only owned the fact that they come from kind of a privileged area, but that even though they're in a privileged area, there are still people struggling with food insecurity.
Yes.
So I enjoyed her speech. I really enjoyed it.
And you recorded it, didn't you?
I did. I have a video, and I'm going to edit it a little bit and put that on our YouTube probably, so everybody else can also hear her speech, because it was really impressive.
And once Chris gets that up there, I will go ahead and put a link to the YouTube video on the website.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. So then she did a ribbon cutting, which was awesome.
Yes.
Gotta love a good ribbon cutting.
You do.
And what made me chuckle was after the ribbon cutting, one of the volunteers from the festival had to tell us that the ribbon itself was vegan.
Yeah, that was good. That was a nice touch.
She's like,
I did enjoy
the ribbon's
that.
vegan. This is vegan.
I did enjoy that.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was a great speech, and everybody was very enthusiastic. And ready to, charge into the festival to see what was available.
For sure.
To look at and buy and eat.
And we did all those things. We looked, we bought, we ate.
We did. On my outline here, the first thing I have up is the speakers. They had many speakers throughout the day.
Yes, they did.
The event ran from noon till 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they filled most of the time with, there was a little like gazebo area where they had speakers and stuff.
Yeah, it kind of alternated between speakers and musicians.
Yeah, they had some musicians also.
Which was very cool.
Yeah. But we managed to catch, I'm going to have Sam say her name.
Anita Kronk?
Anita Kronk? Is
Yes,
that how you say it? It's
I believe so.
Anita Kronk, Krojnc.
Who is the founder of the Animal Save movement.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave the keynote speech.
She did. And she spoke mostly about the plant-based treaty, which I appreciated.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with the plant-based treaty, please look it up and please endorse it. It is an organization that is just trying to get people to contact their legislatures, get your city. You can try to get your city to endorse the plant-based treaty.
Yeah.
People can endorse it. Companies, Compassion and Cucumbers LLC is an endorser.
Yes,
of
we
the
are
plant-based
listed
treaty.
on the business. I checked.
Yes.
We are listed on
yes,
the
we
businesses.
are. And both of us as individuals
Yes.
are endorsers of the plant-based treaty. So it was cool to hear her talk about that.
It really was. Yeah, it was great. And if you are interested in endorsing the plant-based treaty or learning more about it, just head to www.plantbasedtreaty.org.
Yeah, and cool thing is they also, once you endorse, will provide you with
all kinds of materials.
A ton of print. They will send you the files for a ton of printed material. You can print brochures, you can print posters, you can print all kinds of stuff. And it runs the gamut. It talks about animal agriculture. It talks about climate change. Mm-hmm. They talk about land use.
Yep.
Where farmed animals are concerned. So if whatever.
Deforestation.
Yes.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah. So whatever you want to be active about that has anything to do with plant-based eating or veganism, mm-hmm. you'll find something in there that aligns with your message.
For sure.
Which is really cool. And they have some cool graphics. Their graphics are they're funky and kind of have like this 60s vibe.
They do.
So, definitely check that out. And then so after we listened to Anita's speech, we listened to Michelle Labrosse or Labrosse, I'm not sure.
It's Labrosse.
And she's a personal trainer and holistic nutritionist. And she was, oh my gosh, so much energy.
Much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you obviously have not eaten a hot dog. And what else have we had eaten at that point? We'll get to that later. But this girl was just so bouncy and energetic and smiley. And she was really fun to listen to.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after her, they were trying to get people to go into like these breakout groups.
Into like locality groups.
Yeah.
The folks from Toronto, the folks from Hamilton, the folks from Burlington, the folks from Guelph.
And they were going to talk about organizing contacting their local legislatures and stuff like that. So we really couldn't be involved in that.
No, being Americans.
Yeah, they had everybody shout out where they're from, and I'm like, Buffalo. They're like, okay, well, anybody from... No. I mean, they were, excited to see
absolutely.
that they were...
hello, Buffalo.
Yeah, they were excited to see that there were people from the States, there at the event, but we really couldn't participate in what they were doing.
Unfortunately, no.
So we just had to move on and eat things.
We did.
But before we eat things,
yes,
one thing that stood out to, I think, the both of us in this festival was the amount of activism.
Oh my gosh, yes. There were more farm sanctuaries and activist groups and politicians present at this Veg Fest than at any other Veg Fest we have been to. And it was really impressive.
It was really impressive. There were over 70 vendors at the event.
Yes.
And I counted there were 9 different animal sanctuaries.
So cool.
That were represented there. And there were a ton of activist organizations, and I'll just list a couple of them. The Animal Protection Party candidate was there, Irene Kay.
Yes, and we had a lovely conversation with her.
Yep. I mean, they have their own party.
Yes.
Okay. And Irene Kay has a really interesting story because she's Canadian born and then went to college in the States and lived in the States for most of her life, worked for the VA.
Yes.
For most of her life. And then when she retired from the VA, she immediately wanted to get involved in politics, moved back to Canada, and now is the current candidate in that area for the Animal Protection Party.
Super cool.
Way cool.
Yes.
She's a really cool lady.
Yes.
And we told her if we could vote for you, we would.
We would. That's right.
And if you can figure out a way that we can, we will. And cool thing about her is she has dual citizenship.
Yes.
So she can still vote in the United States.
In New Hampshire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
way
pretty
cool.
Awesome.
Who else was there? Animal Save Movement was there.
Yep, the Animal Save Movement and Plant-Based Treaty. And then there was Nation Rising, the Niagara Action for Animals group, the Waterloo Region Climate Initiative. It was just incredible seeing all of these groups.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to think that Canadians are more active in this way than we are here in the States, but it really seems that way.
It does. I mean, now granted, I think that would be a wild generalization.
Yeah, I don't mean to generalize,
make.
But it just seems like, we've been to other Veg Fests and stuff, and here in the States, it's so food focused, and you'll have one or two, a sanctuary here and maybe this organization here, but there was so much activism at this festival. It was really refreshing. Yeah,
and it would be really, really cool if, some of our activist groups, even if you think of PETA and Anonymous for the Voiceless and all of that, if those groups started showing up at Veg Fest and, making it a little bit more activist focused as opposed to just food focused. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about the food.
No, we were there for the food.
We're there for the food. I mean, along with everything else.
Yeah,
but
the food and community.
Absolutely. But the activist spin that was put on this Veg Fest just by the presence of so many activist organizations was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. It was really refreshing. But speaking of food, let's move on to some of the food we ate.
Okay.
There were over 30 food vendors at this Veg Fest. Bear in mind again, this was their very first attempt at a Veg Fest.
So serious props to all of the volunteers. And let me say, the entire festival was put together and run by volunteers.
Yep.
No paid staff.
No staff.
Nothing.
Yep.
Just volunteers. Mm-hmm. So huge props to everyone who volunteered to make this Veg Fest happen. Because it was a great success.
And all the volunteers were friendly and enthusiastic. And
yep, they really were.
They all seemed to really want to be there and were happy with what they were doing, and were excited. that they managed to put this thing together. And,
Yeah, it was great.
And really excited to see it like come to fruition after their months of planning.
Yep.
But yeah, over 30 food vendors. First thing I bought was we went past this one booth that was called Magic Oats.
Yes.
And I thought it was like packaged oatmeal. That was what, just from seeing their name and everything, I'm like, well, they have all these different flavors of packaged oatmeal. But then upon closer examination, it turned out it was like powdered oat milk.
Yes.
So cool. In all these different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately what comes to my mind is, I'm out of milk and I need coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is brilliant. What flavors do you have? So I got the coconut
The
flavor.
unsweetened coconut. Yep.
And what was the other flavor I got?
Chocolate.
Oh, chocolate. Yeah, Sam's like, we got to get the chocolate. So we haven't tried them yet, but I'm looking forward to trying those out.
Yeah. I'll have to do that tomorrow because you do know that sometimes I love putting chocolate almond milk into my morning iced coffee.
Yeah. It makes it like a mocha.
Makes it like a mocha. And so maybe I'll do that in the morning. I'll use the powdered chocolate oat milk as my milk in my coffee tomorrow.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first thing I bought. Which wasn't really food. I couldn't like eat it immediately. And then I had already had my eye on the Coven tent. If you're not familiar with Coven, they're from Hamilton, Ontario. They have a vegan grocery store and a deli, and they deliver around. They deliver far. They go into Toronto, and they deliver all over the place.
Unfortunately, they don't deliver to Buffalo.
No, I'm still working on that.
Okay.
I even said I would meet you in Fort Erie. across the board. Bring me a couple sandwiches. I'll meet you on the other side of the board. But yeah, we got the vegan pastrami sandwich and a pizza bun from Coven.
Yes.
And the pastrami sandwich was like exactly what I expected.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was the vegan pastrami was the star of the show.
It really
definitely.
was.
And it was just vegan pastrami and some iceberg lettuce and mayo, and it was just a deli sandwich.
Yeah.
And it wasn't huge, which I appreciated because we had a lot of other food to taste.
Right.
And then the pizza bun was just like this little mini pizza. But it was cold, and I was surprised that it was cold. I don't know if it was supposed to be cold. Coven will reach out to you and ask, was my vegan pizza bun supposed to be cold, or was that a mistake?
Right.
It would have been much better if it wasn't cold.
Yes, I agree. I think some of the flavor got lost.
Yeah.
Because it was cold. There was no melt on the cheese.
No, it was like it was refrigerated cold.
Right. It was actually slightly frozen in the center.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a little lackluster, but I think it was mostly the temperature.
Right. And
the flavor got lost because it was cold. Oh, we did.
Ate the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And funny story about while we're eating the pizza bun, a reporter from the Burlington Post.
Oh, that was great.
A photographer and reporter from the Burlington Post came up to us and wanted to take our picture, but insisted that
not our picture, Christine's picture.
But insisted that I bite into this pizza bun numerous times, making different faces. Which was so cool. It was cute.
It was adorable.
And I'm not going to lie, I looked online to see if I could find the story, and I couldn't find it. So maybe it either hasn't happened yet, or it was in print and not in their online version. But it was hysterical. He's like, okay, now bite into it and smile at her. I'm like, really? Okay. And then he made me do it like 3 different times.
Yep.
I'm like, I just want to eat this pizza bun. And plus we were supposed to be sharing it, and I keep taking bites and keep taking bites. I'm like, we're supposed to be sharing this. Anyway.
It was all good.
Yeah, so that was what we got from Coven. And yeah, like I said, I'm not sure that pizza bun was supposed to be cold.
I get the feeling it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been because it was like right when the thing opened. So it might have been like a little bit of a faux pas on their part.
Just an oversight.
It was still good, but it just would have been better warm.
Yeah.
And then Sam got a smoothie from Raw Roots while I was getting the food at Coven.
I did. I got this
what was in your smoothie?
I got this lovely smoothie. It was an orange, banana, mango, carrot, and lemon.
Oh, yeah.
Smoothie.
Yeah.
And It was great because, one, it was super cold. And at that point, I was pretty warm and
it was hot.
looking for a beverage.
Yeah.
So that was great that it was so cold and it was very, very refreshing. My only thing about it was that, going into it, knowing that I was going for like citrus and carrot flavors, the only real flavor I got out of the smoothie was banana.
Right, because they obviously use banana as a thickener.
Yeah. And so for me, the banana was a little overpowering. It overshadowed some of the other flavors in the smoothie.
It's amazing how banana can cut through
anything.
It can cut through flavors. You can put chocolate, you can put peanut butter, you can put
banana.
Can put kale, and the banana still shines.
Yes.
In a smoothie. It's weird.
Yes. It's very, very
because you don't
true.
think of banana as being a super strong flavor, but it will take over a smoothie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have loved it if the orange came out a little bit more, or the carrot or the mango came out a little bit more. But it was still very refreshing. It was exactly what I wanted in that moment.
Yeah.
So, it was great. Just a little banana heavy.
Little heavy on the banana. So then we walked around some more. We stayed under this beautiful tree. There's so many beautiful trees in this park. Thank God.
Yeah.
We sat under, 10 different trees. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it was that many, but at least 4.
We experienced a lot of the trees in the park. And so then we walked around a little more just to kind of scope out what was going on. And then I wanted to try, there's a place in Toronto, a woman-owned vegan restaurant in Toronto. It's called Sausage Party, which cracks me up. Cracks me up that a woman would name her business Sausage Party. I don't know if you're familiar with the term Sausage Party. What that means is it's like a party where you go and it's all guys.
Oh, okay.
So it makes it so funny that it's a woman-owned business.
It is a bit ironic.
And they make their own hot dogs and sausages, thus the name. And they make other meats too. But they were vending a variety of hot dogs.
Yes.
Like footlongs. And they just look so good. And when we first went around, I'm like, oh, I got to check out Sausage Party. And then by the time we got back to Sausage Party, the line was seriously long.
Yeah.
But
if we had been smart, we would have chosen one place to get food before kind of the first rush.
Yeah, but we decided to walk around and eyeball everything for a while.
Right.
So, whatever. So I got in line and Sam stood under a tree so she wouldn't burn.
Well, no, I went over to get us seats for Anita's
Oh, that's
speech.
right. Then you went over to get seats for the speech.
Yeah.
So I waited in line for not too long, maybe 20 minutes, something like that. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
Wasn't terrible. Got Sam a Chicago dog.
Yes.
And I got the Aloha Dog, which had Chicago Dog is kind of self-explanatory. It is a hot dog with relish.
Relish, onions, sliced tomato.
Yeah.
A spear of dill pickle.
Yep.
On the dog.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there was mustard on there. And it was really good. It was.
It was a
really
Chicago
good.
dog.
It was.
Yeah. I watched him make it. I'm like, yeah, that's a Chicago dog.
It was an excellent hot dog.
And then I got the Aloha Dog, which had like
an umbrella in it.
Yeah, they put an umbrella in the end. But it had like a slaw and pineapple and some a little bit of barbecue sauce, but not a ton of barbecue sauce. Because like the slaw, I'm like, I just want that slaw on my dog. It was really good. I was a little disappointed. I dropped some of my pineapple.
Yeah, you did.
It was sad. I'm like, my pineapple. That's what makes it aloha,
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, then they stick this little mini umbrella in it.
Which was hysterical. As she's walking towards the pavilion where Anita's speech is taking place, I see her with one hot dog in each hand, and I'm like, what is that sticking up out of that hot dog? And it was a cocktail umbrella.
Yeah, it was a mini cocktail umbrella. And I'm like, when he put the umbrella in, I'm like, oh, now it's Aloha. Like it wasn't an Aloha Dog before, but now that you stuck that little umbrella into it, it's totally Aloha.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I appreciated the humor.
Yeah, it was good. And the hot dog was really well made.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Again, the one thing that kind of gets me with hot dogs are the buns just don't hold up.
Yeah, I thought the bun was good on this hot dog.
The bun was just a little too mushy.
I think hot dog buns are chewy. They should be chewy.
Well, chewy is fine.
Yeah.
I'm talking mushy.
Maybe it was just because there's so much with the pickle juice and all that other
Maybe.
just
I don't know.
soft
But
in.
yeah, the consistency of the bun didn't work for me.
Mine did.
But everything else about that hot dog was great.
Mine was really good. I was just mad about my pineapple falling off. And
Yeah,
that was
but
just
that was
because I
your fault.
didn't have enough hands. That wasn't
Yeah,
their
that
fault
was your
at all.
fault. That was nobody's fault but your own.
I need to take a bio break.
Okay.
And we're back.
We are.
Oh, hey, before we continue, I happened to see this little pile of stuff that was in our swag bags. I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that was in our swag bags.
Oh, yeah.
I got a cookie. Sam didn't.
I didn't.
I ate my cookie today.
Oh, was it good?
It was. It was a s'mores cookie, and it was delicious. I'm sorry. I said I would share it with you, but
It's okay. That happens.
what else did I get that you didn't get? I got a pen.
Yeah, and you got
a
a sticker. I didn't get a sticker.
I gave you my sticker.
You did. Thank you.
Whatever. So we got these swag bags, and a lot of what's in these swag bags are coupons for places in the Hamilton and Burlington area.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably choose a friend. Looking at you, Fraser Fitzgerald. I'll probably just be sending you these coupons because there's like some free sandwiches at Coven and some other stuff that we can't use before it expires.
Right.
So I'll
Good
probably
idea.
just make a care package and send it off
Nice
to
call.
some of our Hamilton friends.
Sounds
Or
great.
maybe Christy
Yeah.
at Apothecary Kitchen.
There you go.
She could probably use them too.
Why not?
I'll split them up and send them to our friends at Hamilton Market.
There you go.
Anyway, where did we leave off?
Post
Coven
dogs.
smoothie dogs. Oh, then we kept seeing people with ice cream,
We did.
and it was very warm. It was almost 90 degrees.
Yes, it
You know-
was. It was much warmer than we expected
Yeah,
it
you
to
don't
be.
go to Canada and expect to be in 90-degree weather.
This is true.
And I guess it was like unusually hot for them also. And humid.
Yes.
So we kept seeing people with ice cream, and a number of times, where are these people?
Where's the ice cream?
Where are these people getting this ice cream? When we finally, I think Sam actually tracked it down.
I did.
It was a booth near the front, right next to Coven.
Right next to Coven. Fairly frosted.
Yeah, also from Hamilton, fairly frosted. And they had scooped ice cream in
Oh my gosh.
homemade
they had
cones.
So many beautiful things.
Yeah.
So yes, scooped ice cream in homemade cones.
homemade waffle cones.
Yep, they had-
chocolate dipped waffle cones or something like that.
Yep, they had ice cream sandwiches in
Yeah.
a variety of flavors.
Yep.
They had dipped ice cream bars.
Yep.
And then they had an assortment of non-ice cream based baked goods.
Yeah.
And it was all beautiful.
Yeah. So once Sam figured it out, we kind of camped out under this tree, and
Yeah.
we were waiting for their line to go down, but it just kept getting longer and longer. And in between us waiting, we met some really cool doggos.
Oh, so many amazing doggos.
Yeah,
at this
so many cool puppies.
fest.
So many cool puppies at the festival.
So great.
But this man turned out he was from Fort Erie. He had this very large German Shepherdish dog and another kind of muttly looking dog, both adorable.
Yes.
And he was talking about, we were talking to him about his German Shepherd because he was standing like right next to us. And all of a sudden the German Shepherd just kind of like lays down on Sam. he just kind of lays on her. He's like, yeah, I guess you're my human now. It was so funny.
It was so great. Yeah.
He's
did
like,
not,
well, I guess he likes you.
yeah, I did not expect to get to snuggle a big, huge baby
Yeah, he
doggo.
was a bear of a dog.
He really was, and
Yeah.
so cool. Like,
and
just,
this guy, I don't remember his name. If we got his name, I think we got his name, but I don't remember it. But he said that this dog was part German Shepherd and part wolf.
yeah,
And you could see in this dog's head, he had this huge
head.
like a not stereotypical German Shepherd head.
No,
I'm like, yeah, he's a beast.
yeah,
But
And
wow.
he was so cool.
What a baby this dog was.
big baby.
Yep.
Yep. Loved it. And then, later in the day, we met a Labradoodle that was super cool. And, there was a big white Samoyed.
Samoyed or Samoyed.
Or Samoyed. Not sure of the pronunciation.
big fluffy white
Big,
dog.
fluffy white dog.
Yeah.
It's always been one of my dream dogs, right along
Yeah.
with Huskies. And just great, great dogs.
Yeah,
everywhere.
then we met like a Schnauzer-ish type dog.
Oh, that's right.
Whose name was Stanley.
Stanley.
And this was a woman who like lives in the area and really didn't just come for the festival. She was just walking her dog. And apparently Stanley is not usually very friendly.
But Stanley liked
And
us.
he loved us. She's like, when did you get so friendly
Social.
to people? She's like, he usually does not like people. I'm like, we're all vegans. He knows that. You know?
Yeah, they can tell.
Yeah.
They can tell.
So that was funny. So then we did get in line
For Fairly Frosted.
For Fairly
Yes, we
Frosted.
did.
When we got to the front, I wanted a cone, and the guy, they looked like they had been this line. I'm telling you,
they had been slammed all day.
Yeah, all day long. He's like, look, we have cones. But
No, there were no cones left
there were no cones, but you could get scooped ice cream
in a dish.
But he said, that's the line.
But
for
you
the
have to
scoop.
stand in another
You
line.
have to stand in another line while we scoop. So he basically was steering us away from the fresh ice cream.
Right, from the scoop
And
ice
I'm like,
cream.
that's cool. What do you got? What do you recommend? And he's like, well, we have these fantastic ice cream bars.
And we have
I'm
these
like,
ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah, I'm like, cool. Give us an ice cream bar. So we each got a mango, chocolate-covered mango.
Dipped mango ice cream
Ice
bar.
cream, like sucker kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And
so good.
what was different about it was the chocolate coating on it wasn't super tempered.
Right.
Like most ice cream sandwiches where you don't get that like crack.
That crunch.
It
Yeah.
was more like, ooh, you just kind of bit into it.
Yeah, it was.
It was like soft.
It was, and it was very, very satisfying.
It was good. The chocolate was delicious.
And the contrast with that mango ice cream was amazing.
The mango ice cream was super creamy.
super sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And then I started to have a hard time eating it because you didn't get that crack thing, you know, where the chocolate comes off in pieces. Mm-hmm. It started to the ice cream started to melt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sam's the kind of person that can have a messy thing that she's eating. And she's like, fine, it's messy, whatever. I'm going to drip. I'm like, I'm getting sticky. This is terrible. I'm completely opposite. I don't like it when sandwiches are messy. I don't like it when my food falls apart. And Sam's always like, no, the messier, the better.
Yeah, hello.
So, yeah, so that was good. And so we ate our ice cream sandwich and then watched this little boy use they had in this park, they have these like adult workout areas.
Yes.
And he was like
Beautiful little boy.
pushing up weights on this thing. It was funny.
Adorable.
Yeah. It was really cute.
Oh, and I want to mention also that from Fairly Frosted, they had these beautiful sandwich cookies.
Yes.
Gorgeous sandwich cookies.
Yep.
And so I got a lemon sandwich cookie.
Oh, that's right. I didn't get to taste it.
You didn't because it was too good.
Well, turnabout is fair play. I ate the other cookie without sharing. And you ate that cookie without sharing it.
This is true. Although I did ask you
You did.
if
You're
you
like,
wanted a bite.
Yeah, and I was full or something.
You were full.
Yeah.
And so I took full advantage of your fullness.
Yes.
And ate the whole thing by myself.
Yes.
And this was an oversized sandwich cookie. This was
it was big.
It was a very large cookie.
It was big.
And it was heavenly. Like, again, we've talked, I know.
Rub it in.
No, it was so
good. I know you
good.
didn't try it. It was the best cookie ever.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I mean, I know a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about Western New York Veg Fest.
Yeah.
And I was
Eat
talking
your
about
feelings.
the Planty Baker.
Oh, Planty Baker.
And their lemon
their-
scone,
Yeah.
the lemon poppy seed scone, where
Yeah.
the lemon was just like punch you in the face. Fantastic.
Right.
This was the same
Really?
and then some. Like, I was kind of, it felt to me like not only was this a perfect lemon sugar cookie, because it was a perfect lemon sugar cookie.
Okay.
With a beautiful frosting in the middle.
Okay.
But it also kind of felt like, in addition to the beautiful lemon sugar cookie, there was lemon curd
Oh.
in the filling.
Oh.
I'm not sure that there was.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see lemon curd, but it tasted.
But it had that flavor.
Yes. And so, again, just punch you in the face lemon.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like,
Well, I'm
yes,
sorry I didn't get to taste that.
I wish I'd bought. I mean, I both wish and wish I had, and am glad I didn't.
Buy more of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because just so good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Drink your water.
And since they're also from Hamilton, we're going to need to track them down the next time we
we
pass
will.
through in
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
We'll be up there in a couple of weeks, so yeah, we'll definitely track it down. So after our ice cream, we were kind of reinvigorated.
We were.
And food-wise, we did stop and get some other things, and we'll get to that in a minute. But food-wise, we then went to a stand from a company called Excess Less, and they're from Toronto. and we got 2 vegan croissants.
See, one of the things, there are very few things that I miss from not being vegan, but a truly awesome croissant is one of those things. You know, because the vast majority of truly awesome croissants are just loaded with butter.
Yes.
And so whenever I have the opportunity to taste a vegan croissant, I will go for it. There's just no question. And these were awesome.
They were super flaky and buttery tasting.
So good. Like
Yeah.
the texture was amazing, light, flaky, but still kind of had that soft center.
Yeah.
Just awesome. It was a perfect like little snack because we were at the point like, well, if we're going to get dinner, we should do it.
Right.
But neither of us were really hungry enough for
because we've
dinner.
been kind of noshing, you know.
Yeah, we'd been
Like,
snacking.
We've been eating something like every 20 minutes.
I don't think it was that.
The fact that we
that
weren't really
consistently, but-
hungry and these croissants still tasted incredible is saying something.
Yeah,
right.
they were really awesome.
Yeah, they were very good.
Yeah,
and
so
we
go
also,
excess less.
Yeah, Excess Less from Toronto. And we also got a little jar of these cute little meringues that they make.
So cute.
Yeah, and I tried some. I don't think you've tried
did.
them yet. Oh, you did try them?
I had a couple of them yesterday.
They're really good.
They really are.
Yeah, they're a little crunchy and sweet.
Yes, and that's exactly crunchy and sweet. But if you like put one in your mouth, it'll
melt.
just melt.
Yeah.
Very cool. So perfect meringue consistency.
Yeah.
I love making meringues, but I have yet to try making vegan meringues.
Yeah.
So, which of course you do with aquafaba.
Yeah.
Is the, I think, most common way of making
Yes.
meringues.
Yes.
And these were excellent.
They were good.
Yeah. And actually, there's still quite a few of them in the kitchen.
They came in this really cute little glass jar with a wooden lid. Mm-hmm. Really nice packaging.
Yes.
So go them. So then from there, we went to visit our friend Christy from Apothecary Kitchen at the Hamilton Market.
Yes. Yay. It was so nice to see her without a mask.
It was so nice. With last time we saw her, we were all wearing masks.
Yes.
And we really just wanted to say hi. And she immediately grabbed a canvas bag and put 2 of these beautiful nut butters from a company that she is doing business with. They sell at her market in Hamilton called Nutty Hero. And she gave us 2 things of nut and seed butter. One is coconut crunch, and the other one is maple cinnamon. And so I'm excited to try those on some toast or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what you should do? If you have any of that cinnamon bread left,
Oh, yeah.
put the maple cinnamon nut butter
Oh, that would be good.
on the cinnamon toast.
That would be good. And she gave them to us in one of these totes that she has that are made specifically for her because she makes soups.
Yes, in large mason jars.
Yeah, and she sells them in mason jars. So she had these custom canvas bags made, and they have her logo and everything on. They're beautiful. And they have little pockets that are just big enough to hold like two or three jars of soup.
Yeah. So
without clanking
yeah,
together.
so they protect the jars.
It's
and
really a brilliant thing.
so cool.
And I was so blown away that she just she's like, here, take this and this. I'm like, no, why are you giving us this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so thank you, Christy. And we will be bringing that bag with us when we come see you at the Hamilton Market in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so we can fill it up with soup.
We can fill it up with soup.
And we can talk about that soup that we talk about in every single episode.
I love the soup.
Yes, every single episode we talk about Christy's soup. It's amazing. I swear, I'm going to go back and find a clip of every time we talk about that soup and put it into one thing.
Okay.
So then, so food-wise, the last thing food-wise we had was we were on our way out and we were talking to a volunteer, and I think her name was Kelly.
Yep, her name was Kelly.
And Kelly gave us a vegan brownie.
Yes, a little bite-sized frosted vegan brownie.
Super chocolatey vegan brownie. And I just I just plopped it in my mouth all at once. And I'm like, wow, that's really chocolatey.
Yeah, it was really rich.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah. And Kelly actually quit her job, is buying some land, wants to start a farm sanctuary.
So great.
And this just amazes me that people are making that kind of a commitment to their lifestyle and
Yes,
to their ethics,
absolutely.
So we wish Kelly all the luck in the world with her
we sure do.
making her dream come true. She was so cute. So that was food, and we left. But we're coming back in to talk about some other things. Because there were a lot of people there. There were a lot of people there selling things other than food. Like wellness things, soaps and botanicals and essential oils and that kind of
smoothie mixes.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Clothing and you name it. There was something for everybody.
Yeah. So Sam talk about these soaps you bought.
Okay, so we will once again mention that I'm a sucker for soap.
Sucker for a good soap.
Yes, right along with a good
soap,
slaw.
A good slaw.
Yes.
Veritable plethora of things you're
a sucker for. It's true. I'm okay with that. And so I bought some beautiful, beautiful soaps from a company called Lavish Earth, and they hail from Orangeville, Ontario. And this was another situation where you just kind of walked by their booth and the smell was...
intoxicating.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's like, ooh. And beautifully packaged and beautiful aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, really lovely. And so I picked up 3 bars of soap. One was a Satsuma Citrus, which I'm very much looking forward to using. Citrus is probably my favorite scent profile.
And I love that Satsuma. Mm-hmm. I love Satsuma Citrus. We had a body spray once that was Satsuma.
Yeah.
Was it a Pacifica? I don't remember.
No, the Pacifica was blood orange.
Oh, okay. I love the smell of that Satsuma.
Yeah, the Satsuma
stuff.
Was the Body Shop. The Body Shop is famous for their Satsuma scents.
And that might not be vegan, so
I think most Body Shop stuff is.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Okay. Anywho.
And so then another one I got was a grapefruit and peppermint, because again, I love citrus. And the third I think was called, had something to do with summer, like summer sand.
Right.
Or something like that. And I haven't used any of them yet because I am still working on a bar from Lord Street Lather that I got at Western New York Veg Fest.
Oh, and I just have to say about the Lord Street Lather, not to go back in time or anything, but when Sam takes a shower with that Lord Street Lather soap, the whole bedroom smells like whatever that soap is.
It's amazing soap.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's a eucalyptus and tea tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
It does. It's got a great smell. Yes. So as soon as I'm done with the Lord Street Lather bar that I'm working on, I will move to one of the Lavish Earth bars, and I'll just keep going back and forth between the two.
Yeah. It's funny. We have different, like Sam always gravitates towards the citruses and all that. I'm more of a sandalwood. I like the woody, earthy kind of smells.
Yeah. I go for citrus and herbal.
Yeah. And I like the woody, earthy stuff.
Yep.
It's funny. And then from there, we actually went by the booth by the people of Sick on Sin is the name of their Sick on Sin.
Sick on Sin, yes, that's correct.
Is an interesting name. But we went by their booth a number of times because they had a ton of stickers and buttons and T-shirts.
Yes,
and there was always a line at their booth. But we made it back around to their booth, and you got a T-shirt from them.
I did.
What's on the T-shirt?
The T-shirt it just says "Flesh is for zombies."
Yeah, and it has a little zombie, munching,
gnawing on the text. And it's really adorable. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to wear it.
Yeah.
So I did pick that up, and I had done a little recon on Sick on Sin the night before Veg Fest, so I had an idea of what I was looking for when I got there.
They had a lot of really cool designs.
They do. A lot of really just fun designs.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, so that was great. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
A gazillion stickers and magnets.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God. Yeah.
I was like, from a design
magnets and buttons were
as a designer
crazy.
Of that kind of thing, I'm like, holy cow. It would take me forever to come up with that many different designs.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive.
It really was.
And then we went by the booth One Vegan Army a couple of times. And I eyeballed their stuff a couple of times, and I'm kind of kicking myself. And I'll have to go to their website because I can buy it off their website. But I did want to buy one of their T-shirts. Just their logo shirts are so cool that the V in vegan is a bolt cutter. And, because they take a portion of their profits and they give them to activist groups that are involved in disruptions and stuff like that. I kind of liked their aesthetic where it was a little militant.
Mm-hmm.
I know you kind of got turned off because they had a T-shirt that had like a Molotov cocktail on it or something. But
yeah, for me, I didn't mind the bolt cutters. I think the bolt cutters are fine, but I don't know, the T-shirt with the Molotov cocktail just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit because it seemed like they were
like,
almost
we're going to blow things up now,
endorsing violence to end violence.
Yeah.
And I that doesn't sit really right with me.
I think that they're just trying to amplify the army.
Absolutely. And I think they do
army.
that very, very effectively. Yeah. And I certainly can't say that I wasn't also intrigued by their aesthetic. I absolutely was. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I was like, it's kind of cool. And I'm also not sure I would want to walk around wearing a T-shirt with a Molotov cocktail on it, you know?
Yeah. But I might reach out to their website and buy just one of their logo shirts because I think their logo is really
super cool. It is.
Yeah. Is there anything else? I've reached the end of things we bought, things we ate. Anything else?
No, that sounds about right. I mean, I did. Oh no, I got a hat from the Animal Saves movement.
Oh,
the Animal
that's right.
Save movement. I got a Toronto Pig Save.
Yeah, Toronto
hat.
Pig Save, which was one of the activist organizations there, and it's a really cute hat. It's like what they call a dad hat.
Yes.
With their logo on the front, and then really big on the back, where in like a curved font around the back where the adjustment thing is, it says vegan. Yep. Which is really cool. And it's cute. It looks cute on you.
Yeah, I wore it to work this morning and forgot to bring it home with me.
Oh, dear.
That's all right.
Things go to work and then they disappear.
It's true. It does happen. But yes, so I got that hat. And I also got a bunch of new bumper stickers from both the Animal Save movement and Plant-Based Treaty, which was great. I love stickers. Yep. They are all over my water bottle, my laptop, the back of my car.
Both of our cars
covered. So that was really awesome to get some more stuff to put on my car.
Stickers are cool.
The more message, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were some really great stickers, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. I
did buy a reusable shopping bag from
we
Coven.
both did. You got a reusable shopping bag from Coven, and I got a reusable shopping bag from, I think it was the animal, which organization was it that I got that shopping bag from? I can't remember right off the top of my head, but maybe include it in the
I think it was Niagara Action for Animals.
It was. That's what it was. Niagara Action for Animals had these really cute vinyl shopping bags that said, what does it say? What does it say? Go vegetarian.
Go vegetarian.
But then the edgetarian part,
the edge
part has like a pair of scissors, and then below it says "cut out the crap." So, and I just thought that was so cute that somebody came up with that. So yeah, I got a bag from them, and you got some used books from them for
that's right,
for like next to nothing.
Oh my gosh, yes. So they were doing. Okay, so I also love books and will frequently disappear into bookstores for long periods of time.
This is true.
And so they had a basket of used books on their table.
Yeah, for donation.
For donation.
Whatever you wanted to pay.
Yeah, and so I picked up 4 books. I don't have them right in front of me, so I don't remember the exact titles that I picked out. But I look forward to sharing some of those with you in future book review.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be future
segments.
Book reviews. So you gave them like a $25 donation.
I gave them $20 and took 4 books.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
That was way cool.
Super cool.
Yeah. So I think that wraps up everything that we bought or did or ate.
Yeah.
At the Burlington Ontario Veg Fest. It was a fantastic event.
It was such a great day.
You would never know that was the first time that they did that.
No, it was impeccably organized. I mean, both Christine and I were really impressed that they even had the city involved. I mean, there were city buses functioning as shuttles from a parking lot to the site itself. Yep. So I thought that was amazing.
They had local. There's not far from the event across the street. There was like a shopping plaza, and they had involved. The shopping plaza had dedicated portions of their parking lot for parking. It was just so well organized, and it seemed like there wasn't something that they didn't think of. You know?
Oh no,
there wasn't
great.
a detail that they kind of missed.
It was great.
Yeah,
and also
no complaints.
Best trash and recycle bin
everywhere. Yeah. Trash and recycle
situation
bins.
that we've seen at a Veg Fest.
Yes. And even at some of the trash and recycle bins, they had a volunteer standing by the cans telling people what to put in which can.
Yep.
I'm like, that's fantastic.
Yep. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to everybody involved.
Oh, huge shout out
in organizing and putting on that event, because it was really, really incredible. We had a really good time.
Yes, we did.
All right, let's just move on to some housekeeping.
All right, keep the house. Go for it.
Let's get out the brooms and dustpans and sweep this thing into where it's supposed to go.
What are you?
I don't know. So next week we will be at the Pittsburgh Veg Fest.
It's just a Veg Fest
Aganza. Veg Festapalooza.
I like that better.
Yeah.
A Veg Festapalooza.
Yeah. So the Pittsburgh Veg Fest, if you're interested in going, is this coming Saturday, August 27th. Check out their website for more details. So we will be there and be reporting back on that next week.
Sure will.
You can always and still donate to our Mockingbird Farms Animal Sanctuary fundraiser on our Buy Me a Coffee site. That's buymeacoffee.com/cucumbers. And I wanted to give a big shout out to our most recent donor, Paige Miller, who we met at the Western New York Veg Fest. Thank you so much, Paige.
Thank you.
Yeah. And there was a little bit of stuff going on, I think, with the Buy Me a Coffee site, and Paige had to try a couple of times to get through, and he actually emailed us and said, hey, I'm having a hard time donating. I wanted to let you know. And thank you so much for that, for giving us a heads up that there may have been an issue with the site, but we did manage to fix whatever the situation was. So thanks again for your donation. Sign up for our newsletter at our website.
Yes, please.
Where's our website?
Our website is www.compassionandcucumbers.com.
It is. What else? Oh, subscribe to the show.
Yeah.
Rate.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Yep.
Rate the podcast. Review the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yep.
5 stars if you want.
Again with the 5 stars.
We love the 5 stars. And always remember to share the podcast with someone you love.
Absolutely.
If you enjoy what we're doing here, if you want to support us, the easiest way to support us, it doesn't cost you a dime, is to share what we share.
Yes.
Share what we share on social media. Share a link to our podcast. Talk about us in a conversation with a friend. Say, hey, have you heard of those 2 groovy chicks on Compassion and Cucumbers podcast? They are a couple of nut jobs. You should check them out.
That's true enough.
So yeah, I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap this up. I hope everybody has a beautiful week, and I guess that's it. We'll just have to bid you adieu until next Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll talk to you then. Love you all. Bye-bye. If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/cucumbers and buy us a cup of coffee. Thanks so much for listening and for supporting us in what we're doing. We're really having a good time with it.